Hey everyone, welcome to this video guide on how to operate the climate control system in your Toyota vehicle. Now I know some Toyota vehicles may have a different setup. Everything we're going to cover today pretty much crosses over to all different models. So if you are following along with this video and you're in your car, what I suggest you do is press the off button. We're going to start off right from scratch on how to turn on the climate control system. There's basically two different ways. You can either hit the auto button. When you do that, it'll quickly try to go to whatever your last setting was before you turned off the vehicle the last time. I'm just going to turn that off for a second. The other way you can turn on the climate control system is this dial over here. This is the fan control. So starting from low to high. Again, it's going to be whatever the last setting was as far as either it's AC or heat or whatever you had it set to before you turned the vehicle off the last time. I'm going to just turn that AC off for a second. So now we're going to go through the buttons starting from right to left. Now I want you to notice something here. So right now the air source is set to air coming in from the outside. So that's the ambient air coming into the vehicle to do whatever it needs to do with the climate control. But as soon as you hit the AC button, it'll switch over to recirculating air. That's basically taking the air that's already in the cabin and recirculating that. That's very handy on days when it's very hot and humid outside. You don't want to be taking that air, bringing it into the vehicle, and then trying to cool it down. It's a lot easier for the vehicle to take the air that's already inside the cabin and recirculating that. That'll help you to cool down the vehicle faster. Of course, you can switch it over to having the air coming in from the outside. Sometimes you might want to do that, especially if you've parked the vehicle in the sun and you've been out and about and you've got the vehicle parked in the sun and the inside of the vehicle actually becomes much hotter than the outside ambient air. So what you would do is when you turn on the AC for the first time, because it would actually be cooler outside, you'd want to take in air from the outside first. Once you start to feel comfortable, then you can switch it over to recirculating air. So we're just going to turn off the AC there and put that back to air coming in from the outside. Now the next button over is the Eco Heat and Cool. So basically when we press on this, what the vehicle is going to do is it's either going to heat up the vehicle or cool down the vehicle depending on what you have the settings at in a more economical way. In other words, it's going to use less gas. It's going to be better for your gas mileage and everything. It's going to use less power, so cooling is going to be a little bit less, fan speed is going to be a little bit less. Same with the heat. Fan speed is going to be a little bit less, etc. So we can leave that on there. Now we have the air directional control. So right now we have it set for the air coming directly at us in our upper body. We can also include the feet area, or we can have the feet only. We can have the feet as well as the windshield. And then we're back to just air coming directly at us. Next over, we have the rear defog and rear mirror, outside mirror defog, if your vehicle is equipped with that. So you simply turn it on. It's got an orange light instead of a green light, and that will go off automatically after a set period of time. And then just like the rear, we've got also the front defog. And again, it's an orange light. And that, again, will only stay on for a certain period of time and then shut off. Once again, we have the off button, which we talked about, at the start, just to start off the beginning of the tutorial. Pretty straightforward. And then getting back over to this auto section here. So as mentioned before, you can hit the auto button to turn on the climate control system. And because I have the temperature setting to low, it's going to automatically try to get to the lowest temperature using the AC. Turns on the fan really high. Once it gets to the desirable temperature that whatever I have it set, it'll automatically start turning things down and stabilizing. Of course, at any point in time, I can turn down manually. If I don't want the fan to be so high, I can turn off the AC. If I don't want it to be on, I can do anything and override the auto setting. As far as temperature setting goes, you can just turn the dial clockwise and you can turn up to whatever temperature you'd like the vehicle to get warmed up to. Keep in mind I'm in Canada here, so this is in Celsius. But right now we are still at the tail end of summer, so I'll just keep it on low. One last thing I want to point out about the air source buttons there, either air coming from the outside or air recirculating on the inside. There are other situations when you might want to have the air just circulating. Let's say normally you have the air coming in from the outside because it's a nice fresh fall day and you want that nice fresh air coming in, but maybe there's a vehicle in front of you, they're long overdue for a tune-up and it's got some nasty smoke coming out the tailpipe. You can just switch it over to recirculating the inside cabin air temporarily until you get away from that vehicle. Any other areas where maybe, this year we've had a lot of forest fires in North America. If you ever get to an area where you detect that there's a lot of smoke outside, you might want to switch over to the recirculating air, as well as any foul smells that you might, if you're driving through a particular community, or maybe there's a poor skunk got hit by a car and you detect that skunk smell coming in. Quickly switch it over to uh, recirculating air to avoid that. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching.